I've successfully gotten the automatic waterer hooked up over here, and this is going to be their new shelter area, Lord willing, if I can ever finish it. But that's like a doorway right there. Put a piece of plywood I can remove, and so they can step through that, and then I can put it on this side, and it can be another doorway over here that they can go in on this side. And so this is all going to be blocked off. Eventually it's partially blocked off. If they can get through those slats, then they're going to be able to get through, but other than that, mostly it is blocked off, so they can only get in this side of the grass. And so the idea is to let that side of the yard grow up while they eat on this side, and then I'll switch that piece of plywood up there, and then we'll move the sheep over to the other side, and then I'll block them off on this side so they can still get to their water and everything inside of this hopefully future shelter. I've only got one or a couple of boards up here. Eventually is going to go on the roof, and my plan is, I'm not sure if that will come out into reality, but my plan is to put walls up right here on the other side. And so this is going to be 4 walls, and then there's going to be a very primitive roofing, and then I hope to be able to store hay on top of this roof, and then put up another covering of some sort. And through all this, I want it to look fairly decent and not like a bunch of used pallets. So this is hopefully, notice how I say hopefully, it's going to take some time and possibly some investments monetarily, but I don't really want to put any financial means into this if I can help it. I've got some old plywood that I bought several years ago, and I never used it, so I may just end up putting the plywood on the outside of these all around, and then painting it with some stain or paint, just whatever I have. This is very primitive, so it really doesn't matter. I'm just excited to see how this will work. As you can see, I put more boards down here. This is all free wood, so I'm doing it a little bit at a time, but I put 4 boards on. Some of these have 5, and so that's just so they can't stick their heads through. And I don't know if they would be able to get their legs through some of these, but they can definitely stick their heads through. Like these right here, they can stick their heads through these, and they might be able to get their legs through if they wanted to. And then this is just kind of rigged up down here. Just had these cattle panels tied to this fence, and as you can see, I'm using these other pallets as reinforcement so it doesn't tip over like it did when I was putting it up. I was about halfway down, and it was leaning a little bit, and I said, I really need to go get a pallet, and I was going to get the pallet to reinforce it, and about 7 skids fell over that were already screwed together. And so anyway, I had to get those back up, and now they're all back up. But it's definitely not, like I said, it's very primitive. It's not professional, and it wasn't meant to be professional, because I was just doing this to get them to stay on one side of the yard, and I was doing it quickly, and you know, I didn't buy any of this wood. So far, I have not bought any of this wood. This is all free wood that I've gotten, and I've just had to, well, I haven't even paid for the screw. I mean, the screws were bought by myself years ago. I didn't buy them specifically for this project. So really, I haven't put any money, if I'm not counting those screws. These screws, I did pay for these screws, but yeah, I didn't buy them specifically for this project. So I may have to end up putting a little bit of money, which I don't want to do, but it'll work for right now. I may end up just using some of this old stuff over here for the new shelter. may disassemble some of this old shelter and put some of this plywood over there. I don't want it to look junky, and this shelter looks kind of junky. This is free plywood that was not very well made, and I didn't stain it or paint it or anything, and so you can see it's just water damaged to pieces. So I don't know. I don't know if I might cut this plastic thing down and use this plastic for some waterproofing on the shelter, but there's so many options. I've got a few days and weeks, possibly even months to think about it, so I don't have to be in a huge hurry. I want to get their new shelter in time for their birthing process and in time for winter. So it's May 2025 right now, so I mean, I've got a few months before it's going to get cold again. I just want them to stay dry and out of the wind as much as they can, especially when they're giving birth. Hopefully giving birth. I think that one on the right is pregnant. I can't tell if the one on the left is pregnant. I've never had sheep before. This is almost my 1 year anniversary of having these sheep, so I'm still in the learning process. And the 313 on the right there is looking a bit heavy, so I'm hoping she has a baby, and I'm hoping 308 has a baby too, but we'll see.